What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of my Everton career on FIFA 13. We are nearing the end of my second season, and we are in the month of May, and that can only mean one thing, that this month is going to be jam-packed full of games, and they're all going to be very important to this season for Everton. We've got the FA Cup final coming up against Stoke City at Wembley, which, by the way, is going to be another live commentary full game video. It's going to be the video after this, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And also we've got this fixture, which you're going to see right now on the screen, which is the second leg of the semi-finals of the Europa League, which if we win, we're going through to that final. And that would be amazing because it's my first season in the Europa League. Could you just imagine getting through to the final and picking up that trophy? And also, it's going to be the last day of the Premier League. Our last fixture, we are playing away against QPR. If we can just keep our good run of form going, we're getting into the Champions League for next season. And that's mainly what I've been working towards throughout the whole of the season, just keeping the team nice and stable. As I said, in my first season with Everton, a revolution is upon us. Everton is a completely new team under the management of PAYTON. Get in! One of you guys mentioned in the comment section below on the last video, or maybe it was the video before that Everton are an underrated team to manage on FIFA 13's career mode. And I'm going to have to agree, because the last two seasons I've managed Everton, I have thoroughly enjoyed it. It has been an experience. And who knows, when FIFA 14's released, maybe I'll make a return to Everton as well as Manchester United. I know what you're all saying now. You're like, no, don't return to Everton. We want to see another new team. And I will, when FIFA 14 is released, I will do a Man United season first. I'll probably do maybe 2 seasons. Let me know how many seasons you want to be seeing, or how many seasons you want me to be staying at Man United when FIFA 14 is released. And then I'll just move on to a completely new team. Maybe I'll go to and have a bit of fun with a team like Barcelona or Real Madrid or Bayern Munich. Just have a bit of fun and definitely try and move away from English clubs. I know a lot of you guys have been saying, oh, I want to see you do maybe a foreign team. So I definitely want to do that, like AC Milan or Inter Milan, teams like that. And it's just going to be fun for me as well, because whenever I've played a management game, whether it be Football Manager or even the career mode on a FIFA game, it's always been an English side. It's always been Man United, because obviously I'm a United fan. And so I've never really gone overseas. So I think it's time that I pluck that cherry and actually go overseas for FIFA 14. Or maybe I'll do one season before FIFA 14 is released here on FIFA 13. Let me know what you think about that idea in the comments below. And whilst I do think about it, in the last video I left a comment saying, leave your questions here, like, so everyone can see, and I don't think many people did. So what I'm going to do is postpone the Q&A to the next FIFA video. So guys, in the comment section below, leave your questions if you want me to answer it and have your name come up onto the screen with the question itself. I think you get the general idea. Anyway, about this game, I know it's coming to an end. We did indeed beat Roma 1-0. It was 4-1 on aggregate. We are indeed going through to the final of the Europa League. And look at Borman's rating of the game. 10 out of 10. Absolutely sensational goalkeeper. So glad I signed the guy. So seeing that we're in the final of the Europa League now against Marseille, it's going to be a great game. Instead, I'm thinking, instead of doing the live commentary, I will do the Q&A for that one. Let me know what you think, guys. So we move on to our next fixture. It's in the BPL, and we are playing Stoke City, the team that we will be playing at Wembley in the FA Cup final. So it's testing the water, see how they play, get to know them, and of course, if we can, if it's possible, walk away with those 3 points at the end of the day. As you can see, they are starting a pretty strong side for Stoke. They've got Michael Kitely, they've got Jones. Pretty strong side, and we've had troubles with them in the past. I think it was my first season actually, but that was to be expected. Seeing that I didn't have the players that I have now, like Zaha and Christian Tello. But this is football, and you never know what's going to happen on the day. We almost opened up the scoring there, but goalkeeper standing firm and blocking our way. Look at how poor defending. Look at my poor defending. What am I playing at? Distin comes in though and just blasts the ball away, and he's like, no, you're not getting through. We deny Stoke. Pienaar piles on the pressure with a shot which just went wide. I was hoping it was just going to curl into that bottom corner, but no, it curls the other way, and the final whistle was blown. It ends 0-0. Is this a sign of things to come at Wembley? I hope not, because I don't want this game to go into extra time and penalties. We move on to our next fixture. It's in the BPL. It's midweek and we're playing Fulham at the Craven Cottage. There is the league table, still very tight as we get ever closer to the final day of the Premier League. Chelsea looking in good stead of lifting that trophy. It's so sad to see Man United down so low in the league table. They're 5th, but as we come to the end of the season, I'm hoping that they can leapfrog Arsenal and get that Champions League spot for next season for all the United fans, of course. And here was my starting 11 to play Fulham. There were a lot of changes to this starting 11 because we had that midweek fixture against Stoke, then we had that tough fixture against Roma, so there were a lot of players out due to lack of fitness, so we was missing the likes of Jelavic, also Fellaini and Tarat. So Barkley, Ola John, they all came in, and also Blondie, who is the loanee from Manchester United. It seemed like a really good decision of mine to bring Barkley because he opened up the scoring against Fulham. He made it 1-0 within the matter of minutes, so straight away I knew this was going to be an all-out brawl against Fulham. And Tim Howard did well to save that first shot, but Trotter follows it up just minutes after the first goal went in for Everton, and he makes it 1-1. After Fulham managed to get that goal in the 14th minute, I knew as well, not only was it going to be an all-out brawl, it was going to be an absolute goal fest. And Blondie, loanee from Manchester United, and can you honestly believe that that was his debut goal for Everton after joining us on loan from Manchester United? It's unbelievable. It's a weird football fact, that one. With just over 20 minutes played, 3 goals had already been scored, and in the second half, as soon as we kicked off, Fulham looked to draw level. Trotter with a shot, and Tim Howard did very well to keep that one out, and we was very lucky that that one didn't end up in the back of the net. At the hour mark of the game, my Everton side just seemed to be relaxing, coasting throughout the whole of the game, and that was a very bad decision because Kasame, I think that's how you pronounce it, for Everton, was in space. He was totally marked by my back four and made us pay for it. He made it 2-2 to Fulham, and to be fair to Fulham, they did amazing because they came from 1 goal behind, made it 2-2, and then with just seconds remaining of the game, Davis puts my Everton side out of their misery. He makes it 3-2. There surely wasn't enough time to get back into this game and maybe salvage just a point. If this was real life and if I was the manager of Everton, I would keep playing that goal over and over to my team to make them learn from their mistakes. And that was the final score, 3-2 to Fulham. We dropped all 3 points, not what we needed as we come to the end of the Premier League season. There is the league table. As you can see, we are 4 points behind City now, and I think that's pretty much confirmed that Everton won't be lifting that Premier League trophy come the final day. But hey, look, on the bright side, we are still in a great position for that Champions League spot for next season. We're also in the final of the FA Cup. We've got that to look forward to, as well as the Europa League final against Marseille. So what else could you ask for? I think this team has done wonders, and I'm sure next season it's only going to get better. To this game though, against Southampton in the BPL, 53 minutes into the game, and Cork opens up the scoring for Southampton, making it 1-0, and this is not good. This is not what we needed, as Everton seem to be going through a bit of a dip in form recently. But one thing you cannot fault about Everton, they will keep fighting, and so will I. Darren Bent made it 1-1 with a great goal, picked out just nicely, battled off the defender, killed that one round the goalkeeper, and that was indeed the final score. So we walk away from the game with just 1 point, but it could have been worse. We could have lost all 3 points altogether and walked away with nothing. So we'll add that to the league table, and we'll just have to move on and focus on our next fixture. Time for some scouting news from Joel Akinfenwa. Got a few new names, and it's kind of weird because some of these names that are being generated by the computer are of players that have actually played in real life, like Chris Powell, for example. I think he was a centre-back for Charlton. That's right, and is also managing Charlton right now as we speak. So how weird is that? I did reject a few of them players, but the majority of them I did decide for Joel Akinfenwa to continue scouting. Here is the league table as it currently stands after that fixture against Southampton, and as you can see, my Everton side needs to be very careful. I need to start picking up wins now instead of draws and losses, because United are just a point behind us and Arsenal are 2 points behind us. If we start losing and going into that blip of form, then we're going to slip down into 5th, and that means we'll be getting qualification for the Europa League, not the Champions League, which I want for next season. So it's squeaky bum time for Everton at the moment. It was try hard mode, game face on, There was my start 11 to play against Aston Villa, my strongest start 11 as I like to consider it. Darren Bent and Jelavic up front, with Tarat and Fellaini playing in central mid, and we got Tello and Zaha flanking them on the wings. So really there should be no excuse of not being able to pick up a good result against Aston Villa in this fixture. Darren Bent looked to score and make it 1-0 against his former club. Goodison parried, but the ball fell to the feet of Marouane Fellaini. He made it 1-0 to Everton, and in the second half, 80th minute, Christian Benteke almost made it 1-1 for Villa, and that would have been a good result for them. But Kevin Morales took the ball down the wing before the game could end. Ball fell to the feet of Pienaar, and I was certain that was going into the bottom corner, but no, it just goes wide. Look at this. There was calls for offside, but Jelavic was through on goal. I was thinking sweaty goal, and I went for it, but the ball hit the post. Tarat, what are you playing at? It should have been 2-0. There was just a couple of seconds remaining of the game. Kevin Morales, look at that, just skipping past the defender without a care in the world. We was given the advantage. Defender were pulling on the shirt there, and Tarat got the goal he was looking for earlier on in the game. What a header it was as well, straight across the front of goal into that bottom corner. That was the final score, 2-0 to Everton. That was the result I was looking for, and we won our game in hand that we had. So that pushed our points up to 70. United and Arsenal slipped down to 5th and 6th, whilst Liverpool catch up, leapfrog both teams, and are now 4 points behind us with only 2 games remaining of the season. And check that out, Manchester City have been confirmed winners of the Barclays Premier League 2013 to 2014. Such a shame, because if I had to choose between Chelsea or City, I would want Chelsea to win it, hands down, because can't stand City because I'm a United fan. Simple as that. Anyway guys, we move on to our next and last fixture of this video. It's against Crystal Palace in the BPL. You know who's won the Premier League this season. Now Everton are just playing for that Champions League spot. If we can beat Palace here at Goodison Park, we've got home fans behind us, this Everton side would have their spot booked in the Champions League qualifying stages for next season. Crystal Palace wasn't going to go down without a fight though. They were battling against relegation with just 2 games remaining of the Premier League season. They were awarded a penalty. Garvin steps up to take it for Palace and makes it 1-0 straight down the middle. I thought for a second Howard got a foot to it, but I think even if he did, the ball would have just bounced off his foot and Garvin would have tapped it in, making it 1-0 anyway. But in the second half, 49th minute, Tarat makes it 1-1 with the ball bouncing off the post. I thought it was going to go wide, but it just seeps across that line. There was only half an hour remaining of the game. Hallam Hope finds the overlap of Coleman, and he picks out the head of Stephen Pienaar, who makes it 2-1 to Everton in the 72nd minute. The final whistle was blown. Everton pick up the 3 points. We will be playing in the Champions League next season. And there I am, in the flesh. Congratulate the players after a great season. We've still got the FA Cup final to look forward to, as well as the Europa League final against Marseille. That is the end of this video, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you all at Wembley.